Okay, so I'm sorry guys about the delay of yesterday's part. I was gonna record it, but like would have Jeff had like called me, so I decided to do what a top to me had lost it instead. I'm sorry guys. I know some of you demanded a part two or another part technically. Just technically this is part three. If you didn't watch part zero, go watch that. It was pretty decent for my first try on doing an Issei with it again. So Rosie, oh yeah, and everything's edited by me, by the way. Also, every the thumbnails, everything. All that's edited by me. I really don't get any help. So please roll the intro. Song.
There's no escape for me, it was my soul, it was my heart. No one can hear me scream, maybe it's just a dream. It's anonymous, I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the darkness just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I'm gonna lose control, it's something radical. I must confess that I feel like
Okay, guys. So when we last left off, Issei had just regained his memories back, and now the first thing he decides to do while he has a weekend break is obviously train him up. So Issei, obviously, the first thing he does is re-unlock his demon powers, which was the easiest to do, as he mastered two types of the full counter, of the full counter technique. He has the regular full counter that he can use. He can use both with his hands to deflect magical attacks and his sword. And then he has the physical version of it, which is Esterosis type. But Naruto was able to get that just for plot. Well, not Naruto, sorry, Issei. Issei has that for plot, and he awakened the first demon mark. And he also he awakened his Infinity Gauntlet. That's what we're gonna call it. So yeah. So sorry, not Naruto. So Issei, he gets a visit by Kiba Yuta, which all the girls do fangirl over him. But by the way, I didn't say this, but Issei looked like Issei in canon. So when he returned, he looked much different. He looked like his original self, which his original self was what he looked like in the thumbnail, by the way, in the original thumbnail of the first part. So yeah. So Issei would follow Kiba, and when he gets there, he would see Ria's grandmother, which Ria would say she knows he's a demon, and she asks if somebody like join a barrage, but Issei declines in that as well. But he says he'd rather say himself instead of joining a barrage where he would get a master instead of being himself. And thanks for the offer anyway, Grimmery. And I know your brother, by the way. As he then disappears. As he then says, anyway, I'm going back to class. So now it's the weekend. It's Issei. As he's walking down the street, he then meets a blonde-haired girl. Twist just fell down. Issei, seeing her as an seeing her as a love interest, would decide. As you know how this is how it works. Meliodas bloodline, it works like this. Yeah, it works like this. You have to be a pervert if you're a male. You have to be a pervert, but not around every girl. Just specific ones you're interested in, if you know what I mean. He has, so that's what, if y'all know the Meliodas bloodline by now. So I decided to have it work like that. So he just takes he does still look at her panties, but but she didn't notice him looking at it because I don't know, just for pure plot. But him still helping her up, with she asking him directions to the church, but he says he doesn't mind. When he gets there, he has a weird. Nah, he doesn't have that feeling in Canada since he is also half goddess. If you forgot. And alright, so let me explain it. He's 50% demon. He's 45% goddess, and then he is 5% human, just so he can have a sacred treasure. Since y'all know, the only way you can have a sacred treasure is if you're half human. For some reason, that's how it works in DXP. But anyway, but like his human side really doesn't affect nothing. It honestly just makes him stronger because his hybrid system and like anime usually makes the person stronger and just have more emotion. But anyway, as Issei would then decide to not walk her all the way to church and saying that's where it is, as he would go, and then he would just go to the gym and just start working out, stuff like that. Which then like he doesn't work for it. It's just more like the devil community. So like he just had I forgot what it called, like just jobs that people know, like jobs that people know that demons and devils exist. So he decides to do one of them just for the fun of it. So when he gets there, he already smells something strange. He knows that smell because he just knows that smell, by the way. As when he gets there, he then see, and then when he gets there, he also took his shoes off, by the way. He then as he smells something, as then he steps in something. This is when he sees a red liquid and so he's like, what? And touches it. And then he says, I knew what it was. That was blood. As Free would then say, so the demon boy has come. I'm sorry. What do you say getting on guard? Like, who are you? Free would then explain, my name is Freed Sozen. And my job is pretty much to kill any devil or demon bastard and chop them up into 1,000 pieces. What I'm saying? It's a really fun job. With Lisa then being disgusted by him and then correcting him. Actually, I'm also 45% goddess, but it doesn't really make me a demon boy, and then I'm 5% human. And you're really not a challenge. With him then saying demon arc. Now, demon arc is basically the demon variant of demon of arc from the goddess clan, since he kind of like made some very like from various brother techniques. Within that, where he's like, what? With him then having cuts everywhere. With Issei then taking a broken sword off his back and saying, you know you're really not a challenge for me, honestly. I just do this for the fun of it, he then says, chuckling. This is when he then knees Free in the gut, with Free then chopping it, by giving him a cut in the back, which Issei not really being affected by. He's just saying, nice try, and then try, but all it did is sting a little bit. Why? Because if it's meant to kill demons and devils, but he's also 45% goddess, so it wouldn't really damage him as much as you would think it would. As Ozzy will walk in to see what's next going on and explain, as he sees Ozzy, as he then explains his origin. He says, my name is Issei Leonis, which this is when Freak hears that name, he gets scared. Ozzy also gets scared. As he was written in the Bible to be a ruthless demon hybrid, you can say. Which Ozzy walking away from him with him explaining, I'm a demon and a goddess. If you don't want to be friends no more, it's good. It's just like that's how it always is. With Ozzy saying it's fine, jumping in the way, saying you're my friend, you helped me when I didn't know where something was. So even though you want something, you're a good person, she says. Vivian smiling, just like how Meliodas is in the picture. Then saying, chuckling, and saying, alright, Freed Sozen stand up like a man, and activating his demon mark. and also one of his demon marking his goddess eye, and then say, "Let's go." But this is when the two then jumping ahead, clashing blows, which Issei then snapping his finger as he used physical counter. We like, oh, that hurt it. But then Riz is gang popping up. Riz is like, oh man, Riz, Maria, I could have did this on my own. He says, well, I shouldn't have sent you on a mission that could have got you killed, she says. He says, you good. This one he says, mm. He said, this one obviously says, goodbye, he said. With, and then disappearing, but she says insane. Damn it, I need to get my power back. I need to train. Know what you mean? Was his power sealed or something? Honestly, not really. More like he never actually unlocked all his true potential, you can say. Because think about it, he never unlocked his real potential he had. So he wouldn't be as strong as you think. As in, if he was only about, like, you can say he's only about, like, in his prime back in the day, he was only about assault mode Meliodas versus the Demon King. So, yeah, he never even gained, like, his Demon King form or nothing like that. If East is insane. But he says, Gremory, I'm gonna need you to take me to meet Sir Zex Lucifer. Why? He's an old friend of mine, and it'd be nice to see him again. This one, she's like, you know my big brother? He's been shaking his head. Mm-hmm. He was an old friend of mine back in the day. This is when Rhea says gladly. This is when he's gonna get her other brother. But this is when Suzek's like, is that you, Issei? Hey, yeah, bro. It's me. He's like, how are you alive? He says, he explains reincarnation and stuff like that. So, that is right. So what do you need, old friend? He explains, I'm gonna need you to train with me in purgatory. Now there's two types of hell. So there's the hell from DXD, and then there's also the hell from what's the name? Lucifer can open up both. Lucifer, Lex Lucifer can open up both portals. There's which he doesn't own any of the land. But since Issei owns pretty much the land from being the grandson of the demon king, he won't really mind. And he knows Meliodas really won't mind if he used the grounds to train for a bit. And plus, he needs that training anyway. And this is when he then trains. This is when Suzette. This is when where it's like, but don't you got to work? This is when he says to fight with an old friend again. And just know I can just have to great fill in. And my father, he said. So anyway, this is when Suzette and Nisa then enter purgatory. Since they enter purgatory, this is when Issei then says, whoa, it's been a while since I've been here. This is when he then says, this is when Issei then says, let's begin. Now guys, I'm gonna be leaving you off on a cliffhanger, sorry.